When we were creating our ideal customer profile, we used a scoring model that looked at the past performance of each of our individual investment products. So we wanted to take a look at account level demographics that would indicate the probability of success for each of those individual investment products. That really helped us look at individually at the product level where we would likely to be successful. And then we aggregated all of that into one lump sum or a value that gave us some insight into how likely we would be able to sell into an overall account. So it gave us a really great sense of prioritizing accounts for our sales executives and for marketing efforts. Before we partnered with RingLead, we were able to tap into the iPEDS database, which is essentially a collection of multiple and gigantic files. So essentially what we had to do was export all of these massive data sets, combine them manually in Excel through VLOOKUP, and then apply our manually created formulas in Excel to create our propensity model. What RingLead allowed us to do is to combine all of those disparate data sets that were in individual Excel files into one consistent database. So we could take all of the inputs that go into our propensity model and apply that directly and systematically into Salesforce. So since we've implemented the ideal customer profile or the propensity model via RingLead, we've really been able to prioritize those lists of named accounts so that, again, sales reps are focused where they are most likely to be successful. From a demand gen perspective, we've been also able to go through and identify for which of those prioritized accounts we have the right contact data. And we have partnered with our sales development team, or SDRs, to really focus all of their calling efforts based on that ideal customer profile. And even at a very short amount of time, we've been able to generate almost $2 million in pipeline for us. That's first year value, which before would have not been a more reliable, repeatable practice. So prior to implementing our ideal customer profile and the account level enrichment through RingLead, we really spent a lot of time and effort on creating what we thought at the time would be high value marketing activities. So we would generate white papers, we would facilitate webinars that really reflected not only our alignment with thought leaders within the higher education industry, but also provided more direct value of how our products relate directly to higher ed needs. In some of those cases, we were underwhelmed in the amount of MQLs that would come from those said marketing activities. And ultimately, what we found is that while we did have some success in generating MQLs, there wasn't a lot of repeatable success or trends that we saw from those MQLs. And ultimately, we had a high level of attendance at those events, but we didn't always have the right people in the room or in attendance that are decision makers at those organizations or institutions. So what RingLead allowed us to do is to do some normalization and segmentation based on job title. So we were able to go through and analyze all of the job titles for contacts and leads that we had in the system and normalize those into categories based on decision makers that we find important and that would be helpful to market to. So what we have now is the ability to identify the exact people that we want to attend our webinars, attend our events, read our case studies. And through content syndication efforts, we have a higher level of probability to ensure that we have decision makers that are looking at that content or engaging with us from a marketing perspective and converting those to opportunities for our sales team.